Good morning, I'm Landon Wexler. Thanks for joining us on Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Kayla Burton. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about over the next hour.
Coming up today on Mornings on the Hill, the snow has been causing major issues on campus, even leaving some students without water. Find out how the university has been trying to help those students affected.
Also, we take a look at what the people in charge of snow removal on campus have been doing to help you on your walk to class.
And finally, we'll show you just how a campus coffee shop just got even better.
All that, plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Our top story this hour, a plan to improve safety for those living off campus.
Our Abigail Friedman joins us live from outside the DPS offices with the story. Good morning, Abigail.
Good morning, guys. The Department of Public Safety, along with the Grad Student Association, has implemented 50 signs in the neighborhoods on the east side to help promote public safety. That's streets like Euclid, Marshall, and Genesee Street. Now, we spoke with Chief Maldonado about what these signs mean, what he hopes will come from it. He says he's confident the signs will help promote safety.
Anytime you provide students with the opportunity to have more resources available to them and the access to the resources, it's a good thing.
The signs are a recent addition to the neighborhood, so word is still getting out to the student body. Isabel Hung says the signs seem like a good idea, but her own safety tips?
I definitely stay in groups. I don't go out too late, and I like to stay on campus if I have a late class or something.
$4,000 were spent on these signs right here. If you take a look, you can see it has information on how to contact off-campus security, how to report suspicious activity, and who to contact in case you have a medical emergency. Now, some students are concerned that there haven't been any blue lights installed in the neighborhoods, but DPS says that actually the Live Safe app is a better option for those living off campus.
And the LiveSafe app has virtually replaced blue lights in a lot of ways, because what you have with the LiveSafe app is a virtual blue light in your pocket. They can contact the Syracuse Police Department a lot quicker than they could if they were trying to locate a blue light on campus.
To use the app, simply download it and choose the options that apply to you. Users can even share their location with others who have the app. And of course, Chief Maldonado says if you have any questions about the app, about the new signs, or about blue lights, you're more than welcome to reach out to either him or others at DPS. You can also tweet at Syracuse DPS if you have any more questions, or you can visit them online at their website. Right now I'm reporting from DPS, Abigail Friedman, Mornings on the Hill.
Well, no surprise, it's a cold and icy morning on the SU Hill. Time to check your weather for today.
Nia Brooks is live to tell us what to expect.
A hazardous weather outlook has been issued for Onondaga County and surrounding areas. They want people to be aware of wind gusts of up to 35 degrees. These wind gusts could ice down power lines in areas of high elevation, causing some outages into the evening. Now, it's slightly calmer skies than it was yesterday morning, and it's about 30 degrees and very cloudy. The light snow literally just stopped about 5 minutes ago. Winds are at just 18 miles per hour. Later on today, there's a high of 33 degrees with a 40% chance of about an inch of snow. Around 2 p.m., those winds are expected to really rev up and be about 30 to 33 miles per hour. Tonight, you can expect cloudy conditions with about 23 degrees for a high, and there's another chance for less than an inch of snow. Everyone should take some extra precautions and put on some extra layers to avoid those winds, and put on some nice snow boots when walking to campus today. There's still a lot of snow and ice on the sidewalks and on the streets. For Mornings on the Hill, we'll have your 10:30 5-day forecast coming up. Nia Brooks, back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much. We had a heavy snow yesterday afternoon here on campus, which raised a few hopes that classes just might be canceled.
No such luck, though. Plenty of public schools in Central New York canceled classes, but SU stayed open yesterday afternoon, and even classes went on. Many students decided to make a pit stop and grab some hot chocolate to get them through this cold weather, but for some, getting around definitely wasn't easy, and others just wanted to go home.
I definitely miss where I'm from. So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, which definitely still gets snow, but nothing like this. Had class at noon, it was still kind of bad. Went home, figured it was gonna get canceled, but you know what? Didn't happen, so here I am finally getting to go home, so I'm ready to be inside again.
Well, Ellie certainly isn't the only one that wants to stay inside and stay warm. I know I sure do. I think all students are. What do you think?
I think very much so. The recent frigid temperatures have had a big impact on one SU dorm.
A water main break on Waverly Avenue left hundreds of SU students in Watson Residence Hall without water. Residents were unable to shower in Watson and were limited to 2 bottles of water for the week, which the university did provide. Watson resident advisor Callan Arkader explains just what they went through during this water main break.
There was a whole Sunday that there was no water whatsoever, but then there was like a span of time where it was turned back on, and then it broke again, and then it wasn't safe for consumption. It was also turned off and like on and back again, but it wasn't like safe really to use. So it was like ongoing.
Arkader says many residents had to walk to other residence halls in the cold weather to shower. The water main has officially been fixed, and Watson residents can once again shower and drink the building's water safely. Thank goodness, right?
Thank God. When's the last time a Syracuse winter day had you feeling blue?
Well, chances are pretty high. It was recently, and organizers behind the Great New York State Fair understood that's their call to action. They found a way to squeeze all the childhood fun, pizza, frites, and fried food, carnival games, and activities into the Expo Center on the same great fairgrounds. Vendors came from all over to showcase their products, from dog training services to freeze-dried fruits, veggies, and freeze-dried tacos. Yes, only the types of things you'd find at the fair. Over 10 rides, 100 vendors, and many performers at the Expo Center, as it was packed with all the fun. And coming up on Mornings on the Hill, we hear from the people who are clearing the snow from all our campus sidewalks.
Find out what this trip meant to him and his career. Stay with us for those stories and more.
Good morning, I'm Faith Kane here with your Orange Buzz. Well, if you take a look outside, it's pretty chilly this morning, and you may notice your car is covered with ice. People have been tweeting about it, and they aren't too happy with their morning drives, but some people see it as a typical Syracuse. John over here, he says snowstorm, that means nothing. 5 to 8 inches of snow is not a storm, it's Syracuse, it's just a Tuesday, just stop. We're used to snow up here in Syracuse, and Wesley says, well, after 5 years in 2 other places, I've come to the conclusion that no one handles snow quite like Syracuse. Roads are getting cleared off, but some people definitely disagree. Nicole comes out and says, special thank you to Syracuse for leaving all the snow in the road all day. I do love sledding, especially in my car. She's not too happy with the way how the city has handled the snow removal. But Rebecca, she's so used to the snow up here in Syracuse. She says, I can smell snow coming before Siri. I don't know who's smarter than Siri, but apparently Rebecca is. And then we have Julie. You know, she got to spend a day off at home for a snow day, but unfortunately we were here at school. She says, my love note to myself, hashtag self-care. She spent her day working on the treadmill. Snow day equals treadmill. Always get a good workout when you have nothing else to do. And then we have Patsy, who also had a snow day. 11-year-old is home, bored, snow day. So what does she do? Watches old football games, Dallas and Syracuse. Raising that kid right, love that kid. Definitely is always good to watch some Syracuse football. Well, with the snow out there, make sure to give yourself plenty of time to get to class and stay warm. Reporting live in studio, I'm Faith Kane for Mornings on the Hill.
Thank you so much, Faith. And well, that talked a lot about snow. And so, to no one's surprise, when we talk about snow in Syracuse, the first thing we think of is snow, isn't that right?
You got that right. But one group on campus helps everyone get where they need to go. Mornings on the Hill, Sam Carter is live in the studio with more. Sam.
Thanks, guys. If you're a member of the Syracuse University Committee and you were checking your email yesterday around 1:30 p.m., you probably saw this email. It explained that despite the heavy snow, the university would stay open. Now, I got out in the cold and snow to see one group of employees that make getting to class a little easier.
They shovel, they snowblow, they even have a couple of nifty plows. That's just a few of the ways the Syracuse University grounds crew keep the 14 miles of road and 21 miles of sidewalk clear around the university. I'm here in front of the Newhouse School of Public Communication, where behind me, crews have been working in some cases since 4 in the morning, clearing the university's steps, roads, and walkways so students can get to and from class safely. And although these guys do an incredible job, they want you to know there are a few things you can do to make sure they can do their job just a little bit better.
Well, if you see any areas that has ice on it, it'd be great to report it. Steer clear. If you see us actually plowing, try to stay away from the areas that we're plowing so it won't be any accidents.
So the next time you're walking to class in a blizzard and you see one of these salt-spreading saints, give them a tip of the winter cap. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Sam Carter.
If you guys want to report something to the grounds crew, give them a call at 315-443-4984. Let's get back to you guys at the desk, yeah?
Sam, just under 2 million cars, trucks, and SUVs have been issued a recall for a faulty airbag that could lead to potential deaths.
A recall was issued for vehicles that have airbags made by Takata Corporation of Japan. This may be one of the largest recalls in U.S. history and is a concern for many, especially driving out here in this weather with the snow causing many accidents so far. Takata Corporation of Japan advises any who are concerned to call their dealer that their car is originally bought from. And students in the iSchool can now visit tech companies across the country for a cheaper cost. The iSchool got a $250,000 alumni gift this week that will reduce the price students pay for those schools' immersion trips. Our Gilad Maled is live in the studio this morning with a junior who went on one of the trips. Take it away, Gilad.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined this morning by Mong Shuen Tang, who went on the Tech Trek Chicago trip last May. Mong Shuen, thanks so much for joining us. So you were in Chicago for about a week with the iSchool. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Oh yeah, the overall experience in Chicago, Illinois has been fantastic. There's no other way for me to say about that. So on the last May 2018, so I went to Chicago trip. And so that was a 1 week long trip. So at that trip, we a group of people just visit tech companies around the city and get connections with alumni. Try some local Chicago food like the Chicago deep dish pizza, something like that.
I'm from New York. I don't know. I think New York pizza's better, but continue.
Yeah. So and all those experience I get, all those advice, all those information I get from those tech companies, from the alumni, from the industry leaders has been all fantastic, and I cannot stress more how much I get out of these trips. The trip is it's just fantastic. You see, I'm losing words actually.
I know. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier that there was so much that surprised you when you went to Chicago. It was a brand new experience for you. But if you had to pick something that surprised you the most after hearing from all these industry leaders, what would it be?
Well, there's so many things hovering in my mind that my mind is actually overwhelming now. But if there's really one thing I have to say is that I learned from companies to organizations is that there's like more than one way to solve one problem. Like with some companies and organizations, they are in the same industry or partly overlapped with each other. So I say whatever it is a technical side or the management side or even the layout of their company. So company workspace, there's like more than one way to solve one problem, and they all get their very efficient and creative ways of doing that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's definitely the benefit, you know, seeing all those companies, how they solve problems in different ways. But I want to divert a little bit to the cost of this trip. Now, you paid $750 for it, but now thanks to this new grant that the iSchool got, students will be paying $250 for it for the program fees. What does this cost cover?
So imagine the cost covers literally anything. If I wish to spend $0 on this trip, I can spend $0 on this trip. So it costs the round trip flight to Chicago. it covered like the ground transportation in Chicago, like the bus, subway, of course our food, which is 3 meals a day, and the hotel, which I had to say, which by the way, the hotel is very nice. The location is fantastic. And so, yes, pretty much everything.
Wow, that's really amazing. And now, so you got back to campus in September after going on this amazing trip. How did you apply what you learned in Chicago to your classes?
Yeah, so I've got some very nice advices from alumni and other leaders and employees in different companies and organizations to see what is the latest trend of the industry, see what I can learn from the class and maybe perhaps out of the class. And sometimes I can just think about their spirit to gather together to get one thing done and influence this world. Just give me the spirit that I'm going to do that as well.
Definitely. Good luck with the rest of the semester.
Thank you
so much for joining us.
Yes.
And for more information on iSchool immersion trips, visit the website at the bottom of your screen. I'm Gilat Malamed live in the studio. Landon and Kayla, back to you.
Perfect. On the Hill, we'll check out the new People's Place and how they renovated. Stay with us, that story and more ahead. Student-run nonprofit coffee shop on campus is back in business with a whole new look.
Our Fernando Garcia Franceschini joins us live to give us details on the makeover.
That's right, guys. People's Place has been on campus since 1971, and it was looking to kind of revamp itself. And I'll tell you this much, the reopening was quite the event. Music, magic,
and then Mel, I know, I have no idea how he did it.
food, and tons of people. This was the scene at the grand reopening of People's Place. The cafe, located at the lower level of Hendricks Chapel, went through some renovations during winter break, which include new paint for the walls and an updated refrigerator. And if you're a regular at People's Place, don't worry, some of the iconic artwork is still there. Co-manager Haley Bermel says the student-run coffee shop has a new partnership under its belt.
We just started working with Brooklyn Pickle, which a lot of staff and everyone are super excited about. So those sandwiches been going like crazy, and they do mac and cheese with us on Fridays.
Bermel says People's Place had a little more people than they expected at the reopening.
And the past couple of days we were all talking and panicking a little bit, like, is anyone going to show up? Is it just going to be like the press people? And I think that we had like such a better turnout than I could have ever like hoped for.
People's Place has been on campus for more than 40 years, serving members of the SU community. But what does that mean for the people who make this happen?
I honestly cannot even put into words what this experience has given back to me.
For co-manager Bailey Wright, creating a family with her co-workers has been her favorite part of the job.
It's really great. Even when we're having a bad day, we still have fun and serve people coffee at the least. So that's great.
Certainly a lot of love in People's Place. And speaking about love, if you want to spend some time there on Valentine's Day, remember they are located at the lower level of Hendricks Chapel. Reporting live in studio for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Fernando Garcia Franceschini.
If you're feeling extra outgoing, head out Friday night to the Glow in the Dark Freeze It 5K, starting off from Onondaga Community College, excuse me.
All proceeds from the 5K will go to the rescue mission to help fight homelessness.
And we're joined by our 10:30 anchors Ashton and Tamar, finally this half hour. The Chainsmokers and 5 Seconds of Summer are bringing their music to upstate New York this fall when they hit the KeyBank Center in Buffalo on October 12th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, and prices go from $40 to $40 to excuse me, I lost that one. And $110. And if you didn't know, I'm sorry about that, Kaylee.
I'll tell you. If you didn't know, the Chainsmokers lead singer Andrew Taggart is the Syracuse University alumnus. The DJ duo have a couple of top 10 hits, including Grammy-winning Don't Let Me Down, Australian pop rock band, 5 Seconds of Summer hit the top 10 charts in the US last year with Youngblood.
Beautiful, Kayla. And that'll do it for this half hour. I'm Landon Wexler. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. Thank you, guys.
And I'm Kayla Bird. Don't go away. Mornings on the Hill continues after the break. Ashton and Tamar and the rest of our team will be back with much more.
All right, through.
Good morning, I'm Ashton Hiron. Thanks for joining us on Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Tamar Turner. Here's a look at some of the stories coming up in our second half hour.
T-Services are holding workshops to help people who have visual impairments.
It's Black History Month. Find out what events are being held on campus to honor special traditions.
Want to know what eWeek is? We have all the details from the College of Engineering and Science on how to get in on the fun.
All that, plus your weather and orange sports, coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Our top story this half hour. A little over a year ago, Syracuse University announced it would become fully accessible for people with visual impairments.
Our Michelle Houston joins us live to tell us how Information Technology Services is making that happen, one workshop at a time.
Thank you, Ashton and Tamar. Well, accessibility technology helps break the barrier for students who struggle with disabilities. ITS provides workshops throughout both semesters to spread knowledge on how to do so. I attended a training that taught faculty how to help students who struggle with visual disabilities.
I don't know quite what else I'm going to do. There's lots of tricks that we have.
Karen Davis is the Assistant Dean for Inclusive Excellence. She says most of her work happens outside of her office, where she spends the majority of her time assisting students.
Okay, checked out or stressed.
Earlier this week, Davis attended a workshop to learn a new skill.
The ITS Accessibility team offers workshops on how to create accessible documents in Microsoft Word, all for faculty members that want to help their students who might have a hard time seeing.
IT accessibility analyst Pamela Thomas says the workshops provide a proactive approach.
So that's where we step in and say, you know, it's not really as hard as you might think it is. These might be skills that you already have, you just didn't know that they were important.
And Thomas says those skills are creating documents with built-in headings, bulleted lists, and tables.
So all of these things that contribute to the accessibility of the document are actually just features of Word.
Just a day after learning those features, Davis applied them to documents to test her knowledge.
And I am going to make that document accessible, just so they can see that this is an issue.
Davis says she hopes making accessible documents will inform others to do so as well.
You can't do anything in this world alone. And that's what we're supposed to be here for, to help kids navigate this.
Now, Thomas says the workshops are not just for faculty, so if students want to learn a thing or two about accessibility, they are more than welcome to stop by. For more information, make sure to visit itsaccessibility.syr.edu. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Houston for Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks, Michelle. It's time for another check of the weather.
Our Naya Brooks is live out on University Ave to show us what to expect. Naya?
It's still about 30 degrees outside, but there's no snow and there's no extreme wind gusts right now. Around noon today, there will be another chance of a light coating of snow that will make these already slushy streets and sidewalks a little bit worse. So looking ahead at the 5-day forecast, we have a high of 33 degrees with a low of 23. That hazardous weather outlook for strong winds of about 30 miles per hour is still in effect until tonight. Tomorrow there's a chance of snow showers in the early morning before 8 a.m. along with a chance of more snow before 9 p.m. and the high will be 36 with the low of 34. On Friday, there will be a slight warm-up with a high of 42 degrees and a low of 25. There's also a 70% chance of rain. Hopefully, it can melt off some of that snow and ice that we will get from this week. Looking ahead to the weekend, there's a 50% chance for more snow on Saturday, but on Sunday, the skies are expected to be clear and partly sunny. All students should bundle up to avoid these strong winds and wear some boots with a nice tread on them and have to walk on these icy and snowy streets on. I'm Naya Brooks for Mornings on the Hill. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Naya. February is Black History Month, and there are plenty of events on the Hill to honor some very rich traditions.
The Office of Multicultural Affairs Coordinator Cedric Bolton says these events are important lessons to learn for everyone to learn.
The idea is for them to get to know more about the diaspora of Black people and what their contributions have been to not only to the Americas but also to the world.
What are they? So as you can see, some of the events coming up, February 13th, you have a commemorative lecture. February 15th, there's a Black Women's Wellness event. And then moving forward a little bit, there will be some exhibitions, February 21st, a jazz cabaret on the 24th. And then to end the month, on February 26th, there'll be a Sankofa Alumni Lecture Series.
Have you been to the Schaefer Art Building lately? There is currently a new exhibit on display that you should definitely check out.
Well, the SU Art Galleries currently has 4 exhibitions on display, Tuesday through Friday. The building is open to students as well as the local community and aims to provide the best visual experience possible. They have an extensive collection of books, sculptures, and paintings from as early as 1619, but recently they've added a Dogs Thrash, Brack Life, and the Carborundum Mezzotint exhibit, as well as a stirring song sung heroic African Americans from slavery to freedom, which are on display now until March 8th. They highlight African Americans and fine print work, and everyone is encouraged to explore it.
Did you know that National Engineers Week is on the horizon?
Actually, I didn't know that, but the College of Engineering and Science has a variety of events and speakers coming to campus for all students.
E-Week is set to begin on Sunday, February 17th in Link Hall with an Olympics event that includes various challenges. But it doesn't stop there. Throughout the week, there will be a food toiletry drive, career clinics, and an organization fair, and much more from students in the College of Engineering and Computer Sciences. They're encouraging the entire Syracuse community to come out and have fun. For them, this is a time to bring current students and alumni closer together.
It's Engineers Week, that's what it's technically called, but it's not just for engineers. It's about innovation, accelerating in what you do, coming together and bringing together ideas.
I think it's really important to have on campus just because even as a freshman, when I was walking through the quad, I saw the E-Week banner and it just gave me motivation to finish my degree in engineering so that I can be a part of the bigger picture.
Now, Syracuse isn't the only school around the nation celebrating E-Week, but what is their message to students? Come on out for a chance to win some cool prizes.
Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, IT services have been sending out a lot of emails lately. Find out how they could help secure your SU account.
Also coming up, an SU senior shares her documentary on the shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary. Stay with us for those stories and much more here on Mornings on the Hill.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. I'm Daniel Booth. Tomorrow is the first anniversary of the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The shooting ended the lives of 14 students and 3 faculty members. We're joined this morning by a Syracuse senior, Meredith Cava, who over the past several months has been working on a documentary about the horrific event. So obviously this is a really complex topic. What inspired you to do it?
Well, I'm from the Broward County area, and that's where the shooting did take place. And more significantly, my best friend's cousin died in the shooting. I saw what she went through. I saw what her family went through. And I see what they continue to go through to this day. And they really championed school safety as a measure that they wanted to take on and use that tragedy, use that mourning, and use it for change.
All right, so this documentary, we have 3 minutes of it, courtesy of Meredith, and let's dive right in.
What school safety is to me is that my children would go to school and come home alive. I live in Parkland, Florida. This was the safest city. This would never happen here in Parkland. I never dreamed in a million years that my daughter would be shot in her English class as she tried to learn. I decided to run for the school board because when I was sitting here before Alyssa, it became very clear to me that everybody wanted change, but they couldn't do it. And so I knew in order for me to have change and to make sure it was done correctly, that I need to have a seat at the table, that I need to have a voice, and I needed to have a vote to help to make change.
I do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States, the Constitution and the government.
After 9/11, they made the airport safe. After the Oklahoma City bombing, they made the federal buildings safe. Those are federal buildings. Schools are locally run by, for instance, in Broward County, 9 members of the school board. Everything is controlled by those nine people. That murderer did not enter any of the classrooms. He shot right through the glass window of Alex's classroom door. And I still had, my older son Ryan was in that school at the time, and so I said, you know, show me the guidelines, show me the rules, show me you know, the standards. Obviously the school's not safe, I will make it safe, show me what to do. And I came to find out that there were no best practices, there were no school safety standards or guidelines. Broward County and Marjory Stoneman Douglas reported from 2014 to 2017 0 cases of bullying, 0 cases of harassment, 0 cases of trespassing. They're all lies. So, you know, garbage in is garbage out, and that's the reason why you have this, you know, basically, you know, false narrative, and the public was lied to and misled.
And like I said off the top, this is a really complex topic, obviously really moving stuff, and because you're from the area, you know, I'm assuming it hits you in a different way.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, these are people I know. These are people that had died in the shooting that I know personally. It's just one of those things that it's just super draining doing these interviews and talking to these parents. In my short journalism career, they're the most draining interviews I've ever done, and they're hopefully the most training that I ever do, but I went into the conversations where I wasn't going to focus on the day of the shooting. I wanted to focus on school safety since that day, and what they did, what they ended up doing was saying, wait, hold up 1 second, we need to go back to that day. They wanted that perspective for us to all gather from the interviews, and they wanted us to all hear their side.
You know, and to that point, you know, there was so much media coverage of this. A lot of the survivors went out and were publicly stating their cases for different types of reform in many different ways. Why do you think it was so important that they were able to have the platform that they had?
Well, I think in order to have change, you need to have a voice. And I mean, what we've seen is something very unparalleled since like previous shootings. This is something that these kids, these families, these sisters, these brothers, these parents, they've really used their voice to make a difference. We haven't really seen, it's not very black and white where it's like, yes, we're fully did a 360 and we're all good to go. But I mean, you have that balance of there's some good from it and some bad from the shooting.
And I guess to wrap it up for now, what do you think Syracuse University can do to make the students and the faculty here feel more safe?
I really think what you could take away from the full 10-minute video is if you see something, say something, because I know it's very cliche to say, but there was a monitor, sorry, on the campus of Stoneman Douglas who saw the shooter before the shooting actually happened and didn't say anything. And I think that's what we need to take away from it.
All right. Well, Meredith, thank you so much for being here. You know, it means a lot for you to come out and share this type of perspective with us. It really makes a big difference. And that's going to do it for us for right now. I'm Daniel Booth. Thanks for joining us on Mornings on the Hill.
I'm Kendra Sheehan for your Mornings on the Hill sports update. On Saturday, the Syracuse men's basketball team returned to the Loud House for back-to-back home games in front of a packed audience. The Orange suffered a loss to Florida State last week, but looked to regain momentum against Boston College. Tyus Battle led the offensive charge. Ball from Elijah Hughes over to Battle. He's at the three, drives to the free throw line, jumps in, knocks it down. Now Battle again, driving down the lane, draws the contact, finishes at the rim, no call, but it's good. Boston College showed some offensive surge. Kai Bowman behind the arc launches it through. Buddy Boeheim wanted in on the action. Ball from Marek Dolezaj, open to Buddy with a high swoosh for the three. He drilled in a career best 16 points, including 4 threes. Right here, another one good from the tray. O'Shea Brissett getting on the action, saying he's going rejected at the rim. Down the corner, drives up, jumps for the field goal. Battle continued to dominate, flying past BC for the layup, 21 points for him. O'Shea drives through the center, awkward shot around the rim, but it's good. He's just that good. The Eagles tried to fight back in the second, but it wasn't enough as the Orange surpassed BC 67-56. Syracuse's impressive 2-3 defense held the Eagles 17 points under their season average. Head coach Jim Boeheim credited his team's inside play.
Defensively, Marek did a great job in the middle, knocking balls away and playing inside. They were trying to get it inside the whole game. We did a really good job on Chapman. He's always hurt us.
The Orange head to North Carolina where they will face off against NC State tonight. Last time the Orange were in Raleigh, Syracuse forced a win in overtime with a wild buzzer beater 3 from John Gillen. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. Switching over to our women's basketball team, who sported pink uniforms over the weekend in their support for their annual Play for K breast cancer awareness match. Number 15 ranked Orange came out strong on Sunday, powering through Boston College. Tiana Magakahia jump-started the Orange, slips the ball to Amaya Finkley, who lays it up, putting the first numbers on the board. Tiana slides the ball to Miranda Drummond on the perimeter, drills it through the net. Ball back out again, Drummond wide open, takes advantage of the shot, sinks it in, making it look too easy. Through the hoop once again. Emily Angster wants in on the action. She goes another one, deep post, turns over, puts it away. Magakahia doing her thing tonight, 12 assists, lobbing the ball to Digna Stratman, lays it in. Maeva Jabdi-Tabdi with the rebound, put it back in. Maeva again in the paint, left turn, sinks the ball. She would finish with 16 points, 6 rebounds. The Orange got their mojo back, moving to 7-3 in the ACC, defeating BC 96-69. They will play again tonight as number 12 ranked NC State looks to break down the Orange on their home territory. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The lacrosse women's team opened up the season right, beating Connecticut on Friday. Last night, the Orange looked to continue their hot start to the season, facing off against Binghamton. Syracuse got things moving quickly. Ball pass to Nicole Levy. She fakes the shot, slams it into the back of the net. Mary Rahal next gets the cradle, runs down the right lane, slides the ball in front of the cage, and Natalie Wallen finishes the play. This one was all Megan Tyrell, charging down with the right-hand cradle, works in towards the center, puts it in the back of the net. This time, Binghamton will control, angling in from the right, steps in, shoots, and a save by Asa Goldsock, the junior. Megan Tyrell in control here, flips the ball to Sam Swart, pushes the defender right, drives through the center, and hits the target. Another one on the board for the Orange. Teammates happy here. Kara Quimby, now front and center, works her way in, sends the ball into the goal. Another one for the Orange. Swart now running down the field on this one, flips the ball to Wallen ahead. She's in front of the net, passes left corner to Levy, and bounce shot is good for another goal. The Orange attack featured goals from 10 different players as Syracuse glided past Binghamton 15-5. Syracuse head coach Gary Gates said it wasn't just the offense.
I thought our defense kind of shined today and really did a great job holding to 1 goal in the first half and really for most of the game to 1 goal. And I just thought good team effort. We got through it, stayed healthy.
Up next, number 1 Boston College heads to the Carrier Dome on Saturday looking to hand the Orange their first loss of the season. That wraps up an exciting week of sports. I'm Kendra Sheehan for Mornings on the Hill.
Looks like your typical boy closet.
With just 1 day left to prepare, Peter Levchuk puts together outfits for his first drag show.
Pride Union and some students are preparing for a special show happening in Shine Underground tomorrow.
Mornings on the Hill's Olivia Proya talked to a first-time contestant as he prepares to take the stage.
That's right, tomorrow, Pride Union is hosting their drag show prelims at Shine Underground tomorrow on Valentine's Day for the 17th year in a row. And it's Peter Levchuk's first time ever competing.
Looks like your typical boy closet.
With just 1 day left to prepare, Peter Levchuk puts together outfits for his first drag show. He's a little nervous, just like the first time he dressed drag.
I had to psych myself up, listen to music, pump myself up just to get out into my kitchen.
Come Thursday night, Peter will be trading in these boots for a new kind of look.
These are my practice heels.
Peter says dressing up can take practice, and he's still learning.
I don't know how to do that. I'm still a guy. I don't know the difference between the different contours. I don't know what my color is.
But his friends make the stress worthwhile.
Not only am I doing it, they're accepting me for it, and that's all you could really ask for when doing drag.
But Peter says the real praise comes from people he doesn't know.
Just walking around and meeting strangers, they're like, oh my God, I love your outfit, I love your shoes. And then I open my voice and they're like, wait, you're a dude? And I'm like, yeah.
And as Peter prepares to battle it out for a spot in the final show.
And then you would glue the lace down so that way you can
He says it's most important to have a little fun.
Put on a show.
I had the best time with Peter. He was absolutely great. The drag show semifinals are this Thursday in Shine Underground at 7:30 in the evening. Tickets are only $3, and after this show, 4 of the 9 contestants will move on to the final round February 28th. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Olivia Proya.
I'm Faith Kane, and here's what's going on this weekend here on the Hill. Tomorrow, the Winter Carnival continues at 11 a.m. in the Shine Atrium. Love free food? There are giveaways, free food, and more, so make sure to check it out on the last day of the carnival before 2 p.m. Friday, you can get some major air at the trampoline park. Orange After Dark is hosting a night of dodgeball trampoline and a ninja course. The events start at 10 p.m. and you can grab your tickets at the $3 at the Shine box office. Also, a lot of sports this weekend here on the Hill. The women's tennis team will start the weekend off facing Colorado in the Drumlins Country Club at 3 p.m. Saturday, you can get your day filled of sports with a women's lacrosse game starting at 12 p.m. where they will get to face off against Boston College, and the unranked men's lacrosse team will take the field after the women at 4 p.m. at the Dome against the 14th ranked Albany Great Danes. To round out the night, you can head to the ice rink to catch the women's ice hockey team at 7 p.m. On Sunday, the women's tennis team is back in action, taking on Harvard at 11 a.m. And later, the 16th ranked women's basketball team is looking for their 8th ACC win against Wake Forest. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. It's also Alumni Weekend and a great time to celebrate your seniors on Senior Day. And that's Weekends on the Hill, and I'm Faith Kane.
Busy weekend coming up. Thanks, Faith. That's going to do us for this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Ashton Hiron. Follow us on social media.
I'm Tamar Turner. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you next Wednesday live at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.